Women's volleyball team last year got to the Sweet 16 and returned several All-Americans. Add to that Heather Knighting back from her mission now 7 weeks ago, and a 3-time All-American opposite lefty from the University of Utah. Here is a grad transfer to BYU. Her name is Kenzie Koerber, and BYU is loaded. Kenzie, welcome to the program for the first time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Good to be here.
It's great to have you here. First off, let's talk about the decision to come to BYU in the first place. Not often do the two swap players in the rivalry, but here we are. You look great in blue. What went into the decision to become a BYU Cougar?
Yeah, so I played my senior year this spring. I actually didn't know if I was going to come back and play a fifth year anywhere. I was kind of planning to go pro, and I thought maybe that was the next step that I needed to take. But after a lot of thought and consideration, I was like, not everyone gets this fifth year. Like, there's so many athletes out there that would have died to have another year of college. And so I spent a lot of time talking to a lot of ex-college athletes that were like, dude, like you need to play another year. So decided to play another year, and then came the decision, well, do I want to stay here or do I want to go somewhere else? And I just felt that I needed to go somewhere that was going to help me progress as a person and a player, more importantly, a person. And so, I played for Heather in Japan 2 years ago. I've formed a great relationship with her there, and I've had a lot of friends down in Provo. A lot of times when we had off weekends, I'd come down here and hang out with people. So I was down here a lot, and I wasn't ready. I didn't want to leave the state of Utah because I have a ton of family here, but it just felt like BYU was the place that I needed to be, especially with being a recent convert. I knew that it would help me progress as a person down here, and I like what Heather does with her program, and I wanted to be a part of it. So that's why I decided to come down here.
Well, and as Jerem mentioned coming in, I mean, this team is just absolutely loaded, and the fact that you're added to the mix makes it even better. What's been maybe the biggest takeaway on this team early on in the first couple of weeks that you've seen?
Yeah, so we've been in the fall camp grind for a few weeks, and then we finally got to be put to the test this weekend. And I think the most incredible thing to see from my point of view is that there are no weaknesses in any position. We have depth that goes so deep in the bench. We have amazing middles that are putting up big numbers, high hitting percentages. We have stellar outsides. We have a tank of a setter. We have good liberos. Like, we're stacked in kind of every position. So it's been cool to see that it's not just a team that has one superstar that they rely on to do everything. It's cool to see the strengths in each position. So I think that's been the biggest thing that I think all of us have seen and that we want to continue to build on. So
what did you expect last weekend to be like versus what it was?
I didn't really know coming. This is my first. I almost felt like a freshman again. Like, I didn't know what it was going to be like. The crowd. First time in a BYU jersey. Like, it was pretty real for me. It was pretty new. I felt like I was a little freshman. I'm like, wait, I've done this for 4 years. So I didn't really know what to expect. We had a good 2 weeks of fall camp and double days. So it was always very competitive. So I knew that we would perform, but I don't think I expected it to be like that. Like, it was like games were over in an hour at most. So I was like, whoa, that was pretty quick. But no, it was super fun. It was everything that I could have hoped for it to be. 2 nights in a row with 4,800, 5,000 people is incredible. So I loved every second of it. And I'm glad that we're here again this week. So
I thought there would be decent crowds. I did not expect, like you said, 4,800 and 4,400 in the first 2 nights. That was special. What was it like for you playing in that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, every time I've come down here in the past, it's been like that, but I've been on the opposite side of the cheering. So to finally play in front of those fans and know that they weren't going to be in my ear cheering against me when I'm serving was the coolest thing. I mean, I'm someone that thrives off of energy and thrives off of a crowd. And so coming from a season where I played in front of cardboard cutouts to now 4,800 real people was the best feeling again. It helps me elevate my energy and my performance. And so it was a great experience. Obviously, in a perfect world, we have 5,000 people at every game, but I know that probably won't happen, but I was super grateful to have all those fans there this weekend. So
the most attended game in the Smithfield House for women's volleyball ever was the 2018 game against Utah. BYU won this in 3. Like you said, you were on the other side of that. What do you remember from that, and how happy are you to be on the other end now?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of tried to block out that game. It was kind of ugly for me. So I just remember not even being able to think after BYU scored a point. Like, it was so loud, I couldn't hear myself think at all, and my head was just pounding. And I kind of felt that this weekend of like when we'd get a point, it was still the same effect. But it was nice knowing that they were cheering for us, and that really helped me just be in the moment and like continue to bring the energy that I know my team thrives off of. So it was a breath of fresh air to be on the receiving end of that, for sure.
Your career has obviously been phenomenal, multiple time All-American at Utah. So you're coming in as super accomplished. What do you feel you personally add to this group?
Yeah, so I've been doing this for 4 years now, so I feel like I bring a lot of leadership skills. I've played in Pac-12 conference, been to 2 Sweet 16s that ended in 5 very close. So I feel like I have a lot of experience that I am able to bring to this team and continue to try to lead them. I also have mentioned my energy. That's kind of what I've been known as the past my whole college career, is the girl that has the crazy energy, is intense. And so that's how I play. That's not made up energy. I always will play like that. And it's been fun to hear some of the girls say, it's so fun. Like, I love when you get in my face and you hype me up. So I think that I bring the leadership and bring the energy, and just being steady. Playing 6 rotations, you have a lot that you have to think about in a game: passing, defense, serving, aside from the hitting, blocking, off blocker. So there's a lot that I have to think about during a game, but I'm grateful for the experience that I have under my belt that allows me to do all that with confidence and hopefully with ease. And if one area is struggling, making up for it in another. So
you referenced earlier in the interview, the overall depth and, good luck trying to find a weakness on this team. How much fun is that to be a part of in terms of just regardless of who comes in, who's on the floor, you guys know that the level of play is always going to stay high?
Yeah, so I think it's awesome that we have that trust, and that there isn't anyone on the team where if they go in or someone's playing bad, we sub someone in, that we're going to be fearful that it's not going to be good. So I think it's awesome, the level of trust that we have within each other, and along with the coaching staff. I fully trust the coaches and their decisions, and they're amazing coaches. And so I know that they're always going to put the players out there that they believe will help us win and accomplish the goals that we have for the season. So it's super cool that this weekend we got to do a lot of that. We got to sub in a lot of people and just be excited for them and know that they are going to perform well. And I think everyone that went in had great performances. So it's cool to know that if someone's down, or especially with COVID still, like if someone tests positive or people are contact traced, like we know that we're going to be taken care of. So.
And hopefully that doesn't happen. Yeah, that'd be great. Kenzie, 2 weeks from tonight, BYU's hosting Utah. What's that night going to be like for you?
Yeah, so that game's in the back of my mind a lot. I think about a lot. Sometimes I have dreams about it. So it's been obviously the talk of ever since I've made the move down here. People call me, come up to me, what's that game going to look like? So it's definitely something I think about a lot. I think we are obviously focused on tonight. We don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We're focused on Weber State tonight at 7, but I have full confidence in my team and our abilities and our coaching staff. And I obviously have an idea of what I want that game to look like and what I think it'll look like, but not getting ahead of ourselves and just continuing to get better at the little things. And I'm really grateful that we're playing in the field house for that game. I think our fan base will be a big factor to that and helping us in creating that environment. So I'm really excited. I think about it a lot, but we're obviously staying focused on tonight.
And we can stay focused on that match as well. While you focused on Weber State, which will be fun.
Right, exactly.
We look forward to that one. Of course, tonight, Weber State, 9 Eastern time on BYU TV and the app. Kenzie, we appreciate the time, and thanks for coming to BYU. It's really fun to watch you play.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
Thank you. Kenzie Koerber, BYU Women's Volleyball.